Anyway, now the really interesting bit everybody came for is just if you could just tell them how we're going to win the league. Over to you.
Neil has sprung a surprise on me again and just handed me the mic. I'll just give you a little bit overview. Can everyone hear me? Yeah? A little bit overview of the team so far this year. We obviously we sort of made quite a few changes. Obviously with imports, I just felt that we needed a bit more offense this year. I thought, and basically we probably shipped in too many goals. I thought again we could really improve the team. So I looked around, and I certainly think we've improved in our D. I think that we needed from the D. I just felt we never got. It sounds ridiculous, but we never got as much offence out of the D either. I don't think we got as many goals as maybe when the first season here or whatever. Like guys like Simon Mangles and that would jump into the play. Even guys like David Vickerhill, to a certain extent, they were contributing, and I felt even when sometimes when the forwards were having an off night, we'd need some backup. So I'm really happy with the D so far, not just on the defensive abilities, but on their ability to jump into the play, give us that second rush offence, which is what I think in our league it works, and I'm pretty happy with that. We've obviously got our goaltenders back. I think Stephen Fone went through. Obviously through his injury last year went through a little bit of a lean spell, but I felt he really bounced back well at the end last month of the season and in the playoffs. I thought he was fantastic. So obviously we've got him, we've got Adam, who I thought really acquitted himself well when he came in for us, and I'm sure from that experience he will be a lot stronger this year when called upon. Our forwards, we've still to sign two import forwards. One of them is going to be totally offensive, which is what we're sort of looking just now, and one I'd like probably someone who can contribute offensively but also give us a little bit of toughness as well. So I've got half an offer. It sounds like ridiculous. An offer out for an offensive player, totally offensive, and I've got the feelers out for offensive player, but the toughness that comes with it. Somebody who will stand up and look after the guys, and somebody who will muck it out day in and day out. Which I think the team needs that. I think the forwards we've got just now are really what I like about them. Every one of them is like can contribute offensively. I felt sometimes last year we did rely on maybe one or two players too often to contribute, and if they weren't contributing, maybe we were maybe struggling to win that night. But I feel this year we've brought players in who will contribute offensively, and one. They're going to give 100% effort every night, and that's the key for me. Sometimes you don't have the goals going in every night, but if you create a lot of energy in this league, you will still get your chances. And I think again we've definitely got a team to do that. And I certainly think, with a bit of luck, and we'll certainly be up there at the end of the year looking to win the league. But again, it's a long season ahead of us, and I'm sure I'm looking forward to it, and I'm sure you guys are looking forward to it. I can't wait. We've got about 5-6 weeks to the season to go, and I think if we can get the next two key signings right, I think I'm really positive about the season coming ahead. I don't know if anyone's got any questions actually, because it's easy for me to talk here, but it goes out the head. Does anyone have any questions? Sorry? Who's the signing? Well, just without giving any names away, it's going to be tough. He's got experience. The guy's got experience in Europe and experience in the DEL, which is the Deutsche Elite League. He had some games in American League, quite a few games in American League. He's a little bit older now, but not too old if he's a lot younger than me. But we've got an offer out for the player. Obviously, you can't divulge it because obviously there's other teams going after the same player, and as soon as they find that's the case, then maybe they'll up their offer, or maybe they say something negative about our team. You know, I mean, there's always that's the way game we're in. So hopefully, I'll know in the next 40 hours. But just say if not, then I've got 5 weeks to make sure it got a sign. And normally you do find in August, I mean, the last 3 or 4 years, I signed Joe Tallari the last month of the season, Johan Malin, David Beauregard. I always think you do get a little bit better value player around about this time anyway, so things are starting to heat up a little bit.
No, I don't think we're not panicking over players, and we're not worried about players. And I think probably one of the things to explain to everybody is I'm sure most of you that surf the net and look at the web saw the Curtis Huppy thing that went on with Tony and I's best friend David Sims. That's the guy. It's really tough, and I'm sure you sit there and you think, why the hell doesn't the club say anything? Well, it's probably worth just telling you what David did. He actually rang Curtis, spoke to him. Curtis wouldn't disclose anything, and as retribution, David decided to make a guess. The problem was for Tony and I, just so you know, is that Curtis hadn't sent his contract back, which is why we wouldn't open our mouths. As soon as Dave opened his mouth, an elite team made Curtis an offer, and another EPL team made Curtis an offer. We didn't have his contract back. Just to show you what type of guy he was, he's honoured the contract with Tony and I, and he's sent it back. Right? But it went straight into a bidding war, and that's exactly what happens. And I know it looks really weird at times, and people say, this club doesn't tell us what's going on and they won't act. We won't say a word. It's a deal him and I have until the contract's back, because people will play us against each other. As soon as they see it on the web, you know, what Tony's doing tonight, not telling you who it is they've not completely come back to us. They've showed a lot of positivity. We think they're nice guys, but there's no contract back. As soon as it's released to the wide world, even just to pull our wheels off, they'll make him offers, and it'll up the money. And to be honest with you, we have a finite budget like we had last year that I can tell you now is nowhere near at least 3 of the teams that are playing against us. And we'll stick to that finite budget. We said that when we came here, we'll stick to the rules. But it isn't easy, and I just wanted to say that to you all, because I'm sure you sit there thinking, what the hell is going on? Why can't they be bothered putting press out? Why can't they be bothered talking to us? There has to be a right time, and it has to be right for us, and we just have to sit there with our mouths shut and take it, unfortunately.
I'll give you an example, probably going back about 10, 12 years ago. There was a coach in the league, in the Super League it was, that he would make offers out for players with no intention to sign them, just so the club he was at would have to pay him more, so they wouldn't have any more money to spend on players. And that's how some of these devious it is. I know it's hard to believe, but I mean, I've done it myself a couple of times. So
surely not, Mr. Hammond.
That's a game of.
Obviously, that's a bit we need to take out of the edit later, because obviously Tony doesn't do that. But no, it's never as simple as it looks. But I think we're in a good position. I mean, one of the things I was going to say to you, Tony, is I think we had quite a good team last year, and I think to finish top 3, which is what we agreed before we started, I think made the fact that we had a good team. I mean, you say about putting you on the spot. Do you think that we're going to have a better team? Do you think we can add value to that team?
I think we'll have a better team this year. Obviously, we're going to be missing some aspects. Obviously, you got Adam Walker, who had a good season last year and scored a lot of points for us. We had Eddie, even though again we had our problems, but he still scored his points for us. I think we've more made up for. I'm just using that example off the top of my head there. I think we've more made up for that with Curtis Huppy. I think Curtis Huppy will be one of the standout players in this league. He will scores a lot of goals. I think obviously the new players I'm talking about here, not the ones who were here previously, or the guys who are staying from last year. I think Tom Duggan, who played in Guildford last year, I was really impressed with that guy last year. And maybe some people, he's not a standout name, people go, oh, who is that guy? But you'll be very impressed with the guy. Because when I seen him when he played against us, I actually thought, why is he not playing more for Guildford? But because obviously Guildford are a very strong team and they're probably top heavy with forwards. Obviously they're 4 import forwards and probably a lot more experienced forwards. He never got the ice time and maybe he probably deserved. And I think in another year on, I think he will be fantastic for us. And I think obviously. I'm just trying to get another boy. Ben Morgan, who was in Sheffield last year, he will give us that offense. Even though he's a good D-man, he will give us that offensive, which I'm looking for, which I think we sort of really lacked last year. And that's no disrespect to the guys who were there last year. They're more defensive defensemen, and I think that's probably all we got out of them. But I think this year I'm really looking forward to it. I think.
My other question is, obviously, obviously I give you a lot of advice on breakouts and how we play, and no, well, actually, I know nothing about hockey, which is fairly evident most days. But hey, one of the things that's said to me a lot, though, Tony, is, and I don't know if there's a way around this, but obviously we're looking for a tough guy, and he's obviously going to be an import, and hopefully he can play as well. Is that doesn't sort of work for us with a lot of these lads in the EPL. I mean, if you watch last year, and I can't remember their names because I'm not this good at this, but there's a couple of lads in Slough who were British lads who were willing to fight all our lads, hit us with sticks behind everybody's back, but wouldn't fight Andre. I mean, we bring this tough lad in, he plays well, he's a tough lad, we know damn well they're not going to fight him, but they're going to rough up all our young Brits. Is there a way to combat that?
Well, to be honest with you, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at Dean Holland at Newcastle. We brought him in, one, because he gave us a lot of energy, and he's been playing the Elite League for the last 3 or 4 years, but he will drop the gloves with anybody. And I think we sort of, again, we missed that. We'd have Andre, who was probably too tough that no one wanted to have a fight. But I think with someone like Holland, I think we've got a player who doesn't go around looking for it, but I think the other guys maybe not be able to back down as easy as what they have been last year. As you say, again, giving guys cheap shots and then running away. I mean, maybe they won't be able to do that as much.
And obviously, I've got to ask you, because everybody's asking me before, is, difficult decision for you and I to let Farmer go. Great player. Do we feel that we've still got the width and the breadth within the team?
I think we've definitely still got it. I think we've got a really strong team. And again, possibly time will tell, but I think stronger than last year. But I would like to have had Farmer here, because I think he would have done a great job for us. And I was actually hoping, because I think he'd bring a lot of offence to our team. But you can't keep looking at the past. I mean, to me that's history now. It would be nice, but if he ever comes back to Britain, he's still contracted to play for us for next year. But hey, good luck to him, because he's only 19-year-old, and I'm sure a lot of players would have jumped at the chance. But I'm more concerned about what we've got nice now, and I'm pretty happy right now.
Good, fine.